Hello everyone and welcome back guys to round 15 of the F1 2019 Haas Road to Glory career mode, where today we're here for the Singapore Grand Prix. And obviously if you guys are new around here and you haven't missed out on the last episode of this series, click the I at the top right hand side of your screens. Obviously you can go back and watch the last episode as well as the full playlist so far from the F1 2019 Haas RTG. So obviously yeah, hopefully as well if you guys are new around here and you do go on to enjoy this video, make sure you do get yourself subscribed. We're closing in now on 11,000 subscribers. You know, it'd be greatly appreciated if you could help me get one step closer to that goal. But yeah, heading though into Singapore, really looking forward to, you know, sort of trying to get towards the end of this season. You know, for those of you that watched Italy last time out, you know, I sort of talked about the aims, you know, where I want to try and head ready for season 2 of this Haas Road to Glory. You know, just trying to build ourselves up, you know, try and think a bit more, you know, sort of think further in advance, everything like that. You know, really want to sort of focus on everything like that. But yeah, coming into the Singapore Grand Prix weekend, you can see qualifying, that's looking interesting, it's safe to say, and we'll have to wait and see as to how we fare about that one. But yeah, let's jump on then straight away into the Singapore Grand Prix. It's time for qualifying.
Welcome along again to the Marina Bay circuit. The atmosphere is thick, not just with humidity, but with tension as well, as we get ready for qualifying here at the Singapore Grand Prix.
So here we are then, ready for the Singapore Grand Prix qualifying. In Q1 was all about getting out there as quickly as possible. Everyone basically had about a 5-minute period where you needed to get out onto the track and get your lap in nice and quickly before the rain would start to arrive there. As we come in towards the final couple of corners, you can see a few cars have already got their laps in at the early stages of this session there, but Bottas currently leading the times on a 1:38.0 there. And out of the final corner we go. We're only going 9 tenths off, actually just behind him and Lewis Hamilton there, so quite happy with that one. Sadly, you know, we would struggle a little bit later on in the sessions. You know, a lot of other cars got through a much quicker qualifying time, so you can see Pierre Gasly heads up the timing sheets ahead of Max Verstappen, but further down the field you can see we got through in P14 ahead of my teammate Grosjean in P15, but someone not making the cut, Sebastian Vettel, they missed out on the chance there in Q1 on a set of the intermediate compound tyres there, and unfortunately get down in P19 for the start of this Grand Prix. In Q2 would be the same sort of affair. You had to get out there as quickly as possible and get your lap in, as the rain was really starting to fall now here around the Singapore Grand Prix circuit as we head through the final couple of corners there to finish my lap. Actually lighted up the rear wheels as we come out of the final corner, then dink the front wing even, I should say. You can see we do end up on provisional pole at the end of Q2 there. You see Hamilton in P2, Charles Leclerc third. Further down the order, any particular surprises? Pierre Gasly there and Valtteri Bottas not making it through into Q3. Bottas on a set of the full wets there, almost made it through there, just 13 thousandths off. And yeah, Pierre Gasly sadly not making the cut either there. And as we head in towards Q3 then, ready for the final session here at the Singapore Grand Prix, it's safe to say it has been quite a crazy qualifying session so far, but with 1 minute to go, it was the opposite affair to what we've seen so far in this weekend. You can see the rain has started to stop. You know, it was very little now at this point, and it was all about getting out there as late as possible. You can see with just half a minute to go, we were ready to start my final flying lap here. Everyone else had already started there, so hopefully, maybe, just maybe, this could be the potential for our first pole of the season. The end of Sector 1, 17 thousandths up over Lewis Hamilton here. This was looking good in the early stages, and we really need to focus on it, keeping it clean, keeping it tidy as well there. Sector 2, and still 64 thousandths up on Lewis Hamilton, going purple in both of the opening sectors so far. And as we now dive it through in towards the final couple of corners of the lap there, you can see trying to get the car nice and tidy as we exit out the final corner though. We're going to drop the rear end, struggle with the grip, and it's going to be P3 in the end for the Singapore Grand Prix there. And I think if we hadn't lit up the rear wheels once again there, we could have been really close to Lewis Hamilton for pole, and that was a little bit gutting. I would love to try and get our first pole of the season there. But yeah, Hamilton 4 tenths clear over myself there. I don't quite think we would have got it in the end, but I think we would have been very close to Lewis Hamilton as we exit out that final corner had we not lit up the rear wheels. But still, P3, by far and away my best qualifying session of the season. It's a mixed up grid. Let's head on then into the Singapore Grand Prix.
As the sun sets over the South China Sea, the sport that never sleeps is alert and raring to go. Welcome, under the bright lights of the Marina Bay Circuit, to another Singapore Grand Prix. It's a very long, very physical lap, this one, and really there's not much in the way of margin for error. So we have a bit of an endurance race for you tonight. The Marina Bay Street Circuit then has 23 corners, 13 to the left and 10 to the right, taking us a total of 3.1 miles around the landmarks of downtown Singapore. An average lap speed around here, just 107 miles per hour. Anthony Davidson, a very warm welcome to you as you join me in the commentary box for today's event. Should we kick off our conversation with George Russell? They've had to change their gearbox. It's never a good start to a Grand Prix when right off the bat you have to contend with a grid penalty.
Well, at the end of the day, it's always better to take some pain now than parking it up halfway through the Grand Prix. Let's just hope they can put that new gearbox to good use and get the results they're looking for.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Young superstar Max Verstappen starts from pole position and Mr. Monaco completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Weber, Hülkenberg, Kimi Raikkonen and Kubica, Norris, Bottas, Hamilton and Sergio Perez, Russell, Gasly, Romain Grosjean and Leclerc, Giovinazzi, Sainz, Daniel Kvyat and Alexander Albon. Butler and Sebastian Vettel starts from the back of the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Okay, we qualified higher than we were anticipating. Let's see if we can do just as well in the race.
So with Lewis Hamilton's penalty from engine swaps, I'm going to guess there you can see we're actually starting on the front row of the grid for the first time this season. The lights are coming on now. It's here for the Singapore Grand Prix. It's 5 lights. And it is lights out and away we finally get going there. A very, very long hold there. Max Verstappen straight off the line there. He's got a fantastic shot of Red Bull's first race victory of the F1 2019 season there. And you can see as we come through turn 1 and turn 2, he's actually on the set of the soft compound tyres here. We wanted to go for a medium, soft, go quick right at the end of this Grand Prix. Verstappen, I think, looking like he's going to try and go for the alternate strategy in this race and just go softs and build up that gap in the early stages of this race. So a fairly quiet start though for one of, I think, the first times in this season. Usually we struggle, but around here, actually doing not too badly there. To see Weber just behind me, half a second back. I don't think really everyone was in such a weird position in this Grand Prix. No one really wanted to take risks early on at this stage of the day. As you can just see coming in towards the final couple of corners of lap 1, we've got something flashed up there on the R&D.
DRS is offline. The rear wing is down, so you can stay out while we work on a fix.
So there we go, the team just confirming actually that we've already had DRS failure in the opening half a lap here at the Singapore Grand Prix. Obviously lucky that the DRS was down, and you can see by the end of lap 1, Max Verstappen even, sorry, I should say, 3.5 seconds in the lead of this Grand Prix. He'd absolutely checked out in the opening couple of laps here. We just need to try and build up that momentum over the next few laps, but Max was gone, for lack of better terms. So I think more importantly, actually, I'm going to look as we completely ruin our run through turn 1. That actually we see Kimi Raikkonen, I think that does, all the way up in P4 here, and was really causing quite a big train in the early stages of this Grand Prix. The end of lap 3, you can see the gap now up to about, 4.8 seconds there, so he's still putting out a good second a lap in the early stages of this race. So Weber just behind, obviously on the equal compounded tyres, very equal in terms of car performance as well between the pairs here. You can see just not really losing out too much, but a little bit lap by lap. You can see as we head through the rest of this first stint, very quiet here at this stage of the day. End of lap 8 though, Max Verstappen finally dives in for his first pit stop of the day, and that means we inherit the lead here of the Singapore Grand Prix. We've now started to build up a bit of gap actually to Weber as well. The gap up to about 2.4 seconds, I think, by the end of lap 8 there, and skipping on all the way to lap 12. That will be before we saw anything else happening on in this Grand Prix there. As you can see coming through the final couple of corners, and obviously this would be right when we'd be starting to make our first pit stop of the day there. Through the final couple of corners we go. They're actually making a complete mess of the pit lane entry there. Get the car slowed down though nice and tightly. That was the most important thing as we head into the pit lane there. You see Weber a couple of seconds behind as we enter the pits. Hopefully he won't hold us up too much here. And as you can see, coming in for our box though and we're getting a front wing change, and I don't know why. I hadn't set this up or anything like that, you know, I hadn't put on the HUD that we wanted a front wing change. We've been held in the pits as well with the gear selection. I still can't get that right, and we are now all the way down behind Weber in this Grand Prix. We lost a good 8 seconds there, and usually, you know, we've seen in the past on F1, on the games by code, is that the game doesn't change your front wing when you want to. This time around, I don't remember setting it, I don't remember picking up front wing damage, but yeah, we've ended up with a new front wing there, one that I didn't really need, as we now skip on, exiting out of the pit lane. Actually, we're now getting a pressure from Robert Kubica here as we come through turn 2 and turn 3 there, and yeah, that really frustrated me there, because, you know, we would have still been a good couple of seconds up the road from Weber there. You know, had none of that happened, you know, it caught me off by surprise, and then yeah, I unfortunately got a bit flustered and panicked there, as even more is going on now. Robert Kubica dives it up the inside as we head in towards sector 2 there. You see, trying to go side by side with the Williams here. You know, Williams have had such a resurgence this season, and now actually theoretically better than Haas at this stage of the World Championship. You know, it's very tight between all three of us there. But yeah, Robert Kubica gets the run on the exit of the corner there, very slow, as we head into what used to be the Singapore Sling here, and a couple of laps later now trying to still apply the pressure to the Williams. You know, we've seen in the past where like you can't go side by side around Singapore, but we're really trying to prove that wrong in this Grand Prix. To the outside as we head in towards sector 2 once again there. Kubica running a little bit slow on the exit there, a little bit of wheel-to-wheel contact between the pair of stars. We tried to hook it up around the outside of the Williams. Are we going to be able to make this move work? I don't think so just there, and yeah, look at that, it hits the wall on the exit of the corner there, but he does get the run, and now he moves himself up into, well, holding on even I should say, to P5 of this Grand Prix here. But a few corners later, to the outside as we head in towards sector 3 there. Kubica takes a lot of curve there, unfortunately unsettles the rear end, and right around the outside we swoop at the halfway stage of this Grand Prix, but no, Kubica dives it back down the inside there. We do hook it up right around the outside though as we head in towards the final few corners of the lap, in towards the 90-degree corners section at the end of the lap there. But it wouldn't take too long before Lewis Hamilton had been able to follow me through, if I'm not mistaken. Kubica actually did dive it into the pit lane very soon after that, and now obviously the Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton trying to apply the pressure at this stage of the day. You know, it's been a very sort of up and down session for Lewis Hamilton, obviously, in qualifying there. Unfortunately, the penalties, he did everything right in qualifying, but still found himself a bit further down the field than he would have liked there, as unfortunately, well, a completely open door for Hamilton, as we made a bit of a mistake there. As we now head on to lap 17 of this Grand Prix, trying to close back up to the rear of the Mercedes car here, and it's a bit of a strange race, in all honesty, as I'm sure you guys are aware. Tyre deg is so crucial around here, and also what tyres you're on really does make such a big difference here around, not Yas Marina, even I should say, around Marina Bay, even here. You know, it makes such a huge difference. Even something like the Haas on a quicker compounded tyres can match the Mercedes here as we head in towards sector 2 once again. We tried to get a run up the inside of Lewis Hamilton there, but couldn't make anything of it. Moved to the outside as we headed into the braking zone, and now we're just all over the back of the Mercedes as we head in towards sector 2 here once again, just really trying to go for any sort of move that we possibly can here as we head in towards the next couple of corners. Hamilton makes the mistake, runs wide there, we slip up the inside as what used to be the old Singapore Sling, and we now move ourselves up into P5 once again of this Grand Prix. Almost hit the wall actually as we head over the bridge there. Now on to lap 19. Hamilton though still trying to apply the pressure here. We were so evenly matched at this stage of the day there. See, start of lap 19 even. Now start to struggle a little bit with the tyre wear here, you know, where we have to push these tyres a whole lot more than the first. And Hamilton back up the inside there, dives it up the inside as we head in towards sector 2. And now you can see we're trying to swing it round the outside of it. Just look how late he is on the brakes. Through sector 2 we go side by side, still there, a little bit wheel-to-wheel contact. No love lost between the two Britishmen here as we head in on towards the back straightaway. Well, as much of a straightaway as you pretty much get around this place there, and in towards the next couple of corners. The Hamilton is going to get in front of me there. I think that's giving us a little bit of front wing damage, and we've suffered with the understeer, and we're into the wall, and we are out of the Singapore Grand Prix. That all just happened so fast. Let's have a look what happened. You can see Hamilton parks it on the apex here. A little bit of front wing debris, if I'm not mistaken, flies off, and just the dirty air, the combination of that and nothing we could do, just nick the outside tyre wall there. I really do feel that needs to be replaced for something a bit more spongy, in my opinion there. You know, something you want to be able to bounce off, but that was absolutely gutting. Like I said, it just happened so fast in this Grand Prix. I'd almost even forgot about it trying to commentate just then as well. But heartbreak to finish off the Singapore Grand Prix early. They're really gutted with that one. You know, a little bit annoyed with Hamilton, but ultimately, you know, it was our mistake as well. A mix of that and the dirty air, unfortunately, has left us out and gutting at the end of the day.
It was a magnificent race and a drive right out of the top draw to take the win for Red Bull today. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
Well, they played the safety car to absolute perfection. There are so many factors to worry about once the race is neutralised. I mean, do you pit for fresh rubber? Do you have the space behind you? How much fuel can you save? If you answer all of those questions correctly, you'll have a good chance. And that's exactly what happened today.
The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everyone at the team. So let's review the updated driver standings. It's a great result for Lewis Hamilton, who moves further ahead at the top of the table. Now, let's discuss, Ant. Who would you say is a contender for driver of the day?
I have to say Sebastian Vettel certainly caught my eye during today's race. Incredible driving.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. It was a tough race for our championship leaders who lose ground at the top of the table. I'm equal parts exhausted and elated with this weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for the next one.
So having a look then at the results at the end of the day, Max Verstappen wins the Singapore Grand Prix by over half a minute. A dominant drive by the Red Bull man there to take Red Bull's first win of the season. Hamilton comes through for P2 ahead of Gasly, Leclerc, Weber, Hülkenberg, Vettel, Bottas, Raikkonen and Perez rounds out the point scorers there with Russell, Butler, Norris, Kubica, Sainz, Grosjean and Albon, as well as Giovinazzi all making it through to the end. Myself and Danny Kvyat, the only two drivers not to make it through at the end of the day. In terms of the Drivers' World Championship, Pierre Gasly with that podium result there, I think it might even be his first podium of the year, re-jumps myself up, well, best of the rest so far. You know, can't really, I still define Gasly as part of the rest, rather worrying me for his Formula One career there. You can see further down the order, other changes. Raikkonen re-jumps my teammate Grosjean there. Hülkenberg with some good points, jumps past Lando Norris and obviously the retired Daniel Ricciardo as well. In the constructors standings, a little bit of ground lost to Ferrari there at the end of the day, and the gap, to Force India Racing Point even, I should say, at the end of the day there, but just 14 points separate Mercedes and Ferrari at the top of the World Championship as well. They're just 12 points between ourselves and Racing Point as best of the rest as well. I'm sure we'd love to try and get P4 in the Constructors' World Championship. But that is it done then for this weekend's Singapore Grand Prix. Like I said, gutted that it did end in that way. But thank you all so much for watching this video nonetheless. Get yourself subscribed if you're new around here, and hopefully I will see you guys next time round. I think it's the Russian Grand Prix.